So Grand Theft Auto 6 leaks are starting to come out, right? I mean, like just last week we had leaks about basically stating that it's going to be in the 80s time period, as well as set in Miami like Vice City was, which would be pretty cool. But it kind of makes me think, man, I really wish they would make a Grand Theft Auto in New Orleans. Like, can you imagine going to fortune tellers and having them read your palms, pissing all over the streets, and drinking hand grenades with homeless people? It would be amazing. But that's not what we're here to talk about today. What we're here to talk about today is a specific leak about Grand Theft Auto 6 that has certain dudes pissed, right? And I mean, we're going to talk about it because honestly, there could be reasons for these people to be legitimately pissed, but honestly, it doesn't really seem like that big of a deal to me. And honestly, I think it's just gamers doing what gamers always do, which is overreacting. But before we get into it, guys, I stream on Facebook Gaming. Link will be in the description below. And without further ado, let's get into the video. So recent leaks are suggesting that the main protagonist in Grand Theft Auto 6 will be a female. Now, I don't know about you guys, but to me, I mean, this means big changes to the Grand Theft Auto franchise. I mean, the gameplay is going to be completely different. You can't have the same game with a female protagonist. I mean, think about it. It'll be way too easy. Female protagonist means you're most definitely going to have some sort of like persuasion skill, right? Because we all know that females win every argument ever. I mean, if the cops catch me in this game, I better be able to talk my way out of it. Or just cry my way out of it. I mean, either way works. I shouldn't have to steal vehicles. I should be able to just go up to the owner of the vehicle and ask for it. And if they tell me I can't have it, then I'll just throw a fucking fit in the middle of the street and yell sexual harassment. I mean, and all these features, you know, they seem pretty cool, but I mean, won't it just make the game too easy? But what about some of the missions that would be involved with a female protagonist? I mean, the missions in the game won't be nearly the same as they were before. We're gonna basically have missions like complaining for no reason at all. Instead of selling drugs, you're gonna be selling sandwiches without a proper restaurant license. You're gonna have to start an OnlyFans account and sell feet pics, blowing off your best friend because you just cannot even with her right now. And the final boss will basically just be having to listen to your mother-in-law complain about how you don't quite live up to her expectations as a wife to her child. But enough about the missions. I mean, let's talk about some of the mechanics in this game that will most definitely change in the future. Like, one of my favorite things to do in Grand Theft Auto is go to the strip club. Well, if I'm a female protagonist, I mean, is she going to be straight? Is she going to be lesbian? Like, what's the story here? Because I don't want to go to strip clubs, Grand Theft Auto 6, if it's just a bunch of dudes dancing around on me. I mean, I can't get off to that. Driving in the game will be immensely harder to do than it is in Grand Theft Auto 5. I mean, imagine all vehicles in Grand Theft Auto 6 basically have the handling of the BMF Slam Van in Grand Theft Auto 5. You guys remember this thing? The fucking handling was terrible. You couldn't do anything with it. And with the way that females drive these days, I mean, I can't imagine driving in Grand Theft Auto 6 will be any fun at all, really. And honestly, you can just throw vehicle customization completely out of the window. Your choices of vehicles will either be a 2006 Honda Civic or a Toyota Prius. And God, I really hope they get rid of the cell phone mechanic in Grand Theft Auto 6. Can you imagine having to play as a female character with a cell phone in Grand Theft Auto 6? You'll have to be swiping away dick pics in your DMs every 3 minutes and 30 seconds. And if the developers really insist on going all in onto this female protagonist thing, you're going to have gamers complaining about overpowered weapons in the online mode, begging for them to be nerfed. And the developers are just going to continuously suggest that the game is doing just fine. And now look, I'm just making jokes, right? I'm not actually this sexist in real life. I'm not really an incel or anything like that. I actually do respect women. And I mean, honestly, this type of change in GTA 6 could be pretty cool. I mean, that could really do a lot of different things with this to make it different from, you know, what GTA was before. And if GTA 6 is anything like GTA 5, where you had basically 3 protagonists that you switched between throughout the story mode, I mean, it could be the same thing for Grand Theft Auto 6 and just one of them is a female. I don't know. I think that would be pretty cool in my opinion, considering I think it would be funny to see how that character interacts with the, you know, male characters in the game. But either way, I mean, I'm fine with it. Now let's talk about the dudes that are like really pissed off about it. Basically, to them, it's this cultural appropriation, I guess if you can call it that, of them just throwing a female character into a game that doesn't belong there in order to just appease feminists and, you know, leftists everywhere. Which, I mean, yeah, that might be true. And if that was true, if that was the only reason for it and the game suffers because of it, then yeah, I mean, that's annoying. That would be a reason to be pissed off about. But there's no proof of this. I mean, there is no reason to suggest that this is why they're doing it. They could legitimately just be having a female protagonist in the game because they want to do it that way and it could offer something new to the franchise. I mean, look, games that with female protagonists aren't normally that terrible, really. I mean, think about Tomb Raider. That's one of my favorite franchises. And considering that half of you motherfuckers running around in GTA 5 online are using female custom characters, most people aren't going to be complaining about this. I mean, me personally, if I have to customize a character in a game, I'm usually going to play as a man. It's just how it is for me. I mean, I guess it's more immersive for me that way, being that I'm a man, so I like to play as a man in a video game. But I know a lot of dudes that like to play as women for whatever reason. I mean, honestly, what is the kick you guys get off of that by playing as a female character on GTA 5? I mean, is it just funny to you? Is it humorous? Or do you kind of have a little kink for it? Answer in the comments below. I'm honestly curious. But anyway, like I said earlier, guys, I think it's just gamers overreacting, man. Like I said, there's no reason to suggest that Rockstar is doing this to their game just to appease feminists or, you know, be politically correct in a game that is far from politically correct. So just don't be mad about it, man. Enjoy the game when it comes out. Hopefully it's as good as we all are expecting it to be, and I honestly can't wait for it. But again, guys, I stream on Facebook Gaming. Link will be in the description below. Come drop me a follow, watch a stream. It'll be the most entertaining 2+ hours you could get without a hooker. Thank you for watching, and y'all have a great day.